Hey, what's up? I'm Liz, the Split City DIY, and this is another episode of this month's 3D prints. Still looking for that catchier name. I actually didn't print that much this month because I was doing a lot of kind of prototyping kind of prints, which we'll discuss a little bit. So I thought I'd keep it a little bit informal this month and just kind of do a quick recap of what my printer has been spitting out. So first up, pretty small print. It's these little Lego studs. I printed this Lego wreath back in the spring. I've had little flower attachments to it, and it's been adorning my apartment door quite lovingly. But I had always planned to print out the Lego studs for the holidays, so finally got around to doing that. Got 5 on here for now, as you can see. I kind of want to print like 2 or 3 more just to spread it out a little bit. These do require supports just because, I mean, it is your kind of traditional Lego brick. I've been printing it in this orientation so that you can get a nice clean finish on the top. Tried it the other way around. I just wasn't really that happy with it. So they fit on it at size about 148%. That's assuming that you scaled up the wreath as suggested to 150%. I forgot that you scale up the wreath, and my first print of these was really, really tiny. But yeah, makes it nice and festive. Not necessarily a Christmassy festive print, but still kind of festive. A Boston Red Sox. I'm going to use it as an ornament. I think it's meant to be a keychain, but it's kind of a large size. In my hand, at least. I have mentioned before, I am from the Northeast. Boston Red Sox won the World Series. I don't really care, but I know people that do. So I printed this for someone who does care. It utilizes color changes on the layers, so we get that nice layered effect. The only thing is, I don't really know what I was thinking, but like the back layer here doesn't need to be red. There's no need for that. So, and as a result, the white isn't as vibrant as it could be because of the red behind it. So I might reprint it so that this whole thing is white to here. Then you get the black for the Boston and then red for the Sox, the stitching on the ball and the Red Sox. Now back on the holiday theme, we have this little kind of reindeer thing. It prints in this punch-out card that you're meant to give someone as a gift, and then they punch out the pieces and assemble it. So as printing it, test it. I really like the concept. I love the design. I think it looks really cool. The only thing is I think the people I had in mind to receive these are, you know, on the young side, and I worry that they would get frustrated kind of getting the pieces out if they don't have snips, because even I had to use some snips to get some of the pieces out. So very cool design. And now shifting back away from the holidays again, we have the Tessellation Cat. I remixed this from Andrew Sink's low poly cat model back in, I want to say, March. It's the first time I was really playing around with Mesh Mixer. I've since printed this a lot as a gift for people, and this is actually one of the original ones I printed for myself. The one that you'll see ever so briefly in the time lapse was a gift for someone, and it has become kind of my default gift for people that like cats and I think would appreciate 3D printing because, I mean, come on, it looks cool. And it prints really nice, and yeah, cats. And now we have a really small print, but a very practical print. It's an SMD part holder. So basically you have like your strip of components. These happen to be resistors, specifically 0805 10k ohm resistors, and you just push them in and they fill up, and then you have this nice way to kind of, I don't want to pull it out too far, but like, do you see how smooth that's pulling out? Like, that's really nice. And then you can put them, you can just kind of turn them back in like that. How cool is that? Yeah, so I'm going to be printing a bunch of these. I just invested in a label maker too, so I can label them. Really cool print. Definitely recommend them if you're doing any SMD soldering and you're starting to have some trouble storing your components. Look how compact that is compared to like the long ribbon, especially if you're keeping them in the bag. So yeah, pretty cool. And now back to festive. This is a design that I did in Fusion 360 for an upcoming project that's going to involve all these kind of traditional looking Christmas bulbs. I'm really excited about them. You can see there's a hole in the bottom. That's for an LED. I won't get too detailed into what's going to be happening. If you follow me on social media, you've seen these kind of popping up because every time I print one, I've been posting a picture. But this, a lot of time was spent kind of getting the design process all set. This was the first iteration. The original plan was that there was going to be a base and the bulb, and they were going to twist in together, but that's very hard to accomplish. So basically, as soon as I printed this, I was like, wait a minute, I could just do a color change. And I also didn't like how the kind of like bulb screw top thing looked with how I designed it on that. So I redid it, and this was the first iteration with the color change. What I changed from there was I made the bulb come out a little bit more at the top, and I also made this a little bit flatter. This was kind of meh, so I wanted that to stick out a little bit more. So you can see the change there, and I've been printing this version ever since. Just had to print one more yellow one, and it'll be all set. Start up the electronics with it. It doesn't print with any supports, which is pretty cool, and it was modeled so that the bulb part prints as basically two perimeters, so you get kind of a nice translucent thing, and it also kind of prints almost like kind of a vase mode style thing. It's a little messy underneath because of no supports, and also this part is pretty thin, and I've been using a very thin 2-layer raft to print them just so I don't get any failures, but since this part really isn't going to be seen, I haven't been worried about it. So yeah, upcoming project featuring these guys. But what truly took up a lot of my printer's time was this monstrosity. This is going to be an upcoming project. You can see it kind of forms almost a stage style thing. It's printed in 4 parts, and we've got some placement pegs for the glue up. Underneath we have this kind of running area. Who knows what that's for? Oh, and then this as well. It's a nice space. Huh, maybe it'll house some electronics. But each of these pieces took at least 9 to 10 hours. These took like 13 each. I did 10% infill, and I mean, these basically take up the whole print bed. I didn't time-lapse them because, I mean, they're kind of boring. And the main focus of this project is going to be what happens after the print. But yeah, this took up a lot of time. And that is what I printed this month. Not a lot in terms of what you've seen in the past in the episodes, but a lot of other very large prototyping style things, which will be turning into their own dedicated project videos very soon. But thank you for watching. I'll link all the applicable models down in the description for the Red Sox and the reindeer and the little Lego studs and, of course, the Tesla cat. These and the other monstrosity will be coming very soon. So thank you for watching. Consider subscribing for more content like this and to see what these projects have in store for you. And until next time, this has been Blitz City DIY.